Reading Animorphs for the first time, book 54, the beginning. Spoilers for the whole series at this point because it's the last one. Oh my gosh, this is my last time doing this. So I loved the ending of this series. I thought it was absolutely perfect and it was painful, so painful with Rachel dying, but it was so satisfying. I was really like, what could possibly end this series? Like, it's been so good. It's been such an adventure, such a journey. I love all the characters. Like, how do you wrap it up in a satisfying way? And KA and Co. did not disappoint. It's kind of funny. I was way more emotionally upset about Rachel dying, and then when basically all of them but Cassie did, I mean, probably. We don't know for sure, but they probably did. It actually kind of made me feel better about Rachel's death because if it was just one of them and the rest of them got to like live these long, happy, fulfilling lives, I don't know, it hurt less all of them like going out together in a final blaze of glory than Rachel just dying alone and the rest of them having to like live with that and deal with that. But I did like some of the happier things about this book. Like, I liked that Cassie got to stop fighting. She got to go live her life. She's the one who truly was able to escape the war and walk away. And while in the moment reading it, it felt wrong that Cassie didn't go on the final mission. And I think personally, I would have liked better if she was there, if it was truly all of them together, even Rachel, because when they named the ship Rachel, but I understand the choice. Even if I don't love it, I do think it was the right choice. Same way I don't like that her and Jake didn't end up together, but like I get it. I also liked Marco getting to live the life he always wanted for a little bit, like going off to be the spokesperson of the Animorphs and being this famous actor and yeah, that did make me happy though. Marco thriving off the attention, but being bored and unfulfilled inside because he doesn't have a higher purpose he's working on. Who would know anything about that? Anyway, and then seeing Axe getting to be Prince Axe, it made me so happy. I love Axe so, so much. Honestly, this felt like three different books. And I did read it on 3 different days. So I did get to sit and process with it a little bit. And I'm glad I took that time because this really could have been a trilogy. Like the first section, Rachel's death, wrapping up the war. The second section, their lives afterwards. And then the third, them not truly being able to escape war after all of that. And honestly, while I was reading that happy section, while I was reading the middle bit about their lives and hey, Visser 3's trial. Visser 3 survived. That's the one thing I said I wanted that I got. So I'm calling it a win, though. This diva deserves better than to end up in Kansas. That's the real tragedy of Visser 3. Anyway, while I was reading that, reading the happy bit, I was kind of disappointed. I was feeling like, really? That's it? After everything? Like, yeah, I'm happy for them, except for Jake. You know, that was really sad. But this is all they end up as. So when it was like, new mission, let's go rescue Axe, I was like, let's go. And like I said, I'm a Marco, not a Cassie. Even though the ending was painful, like, still, wow. Ram the Blade ship, the way I have to stop myself from calling up my tattoo artist, like, I have a new tattoo I need, thank you. The self-control is real. I may knit a sweater. I need to design a sweater that says that. I knit, so I knit this sweater. Anyway, I need to design and knit an Animorph sweater that says Ram the Blade ship. Like, it's so good. It was so good. Like, that's how you do an ending. And I think this book literally had my favorite character choice in the whole series of basically the war turned Jake into Rachel. And if we look at the book where Rachel was the leader and it went wrong, even though that's not one of my favorite Rachel books, that is kind of foreshadowed in a way. And Jake just going, we got nothing left, so sledgehammer, reckless, careless, kind of anything to be back in the fight because he thought he could walk away, but he couldn't. Just, wow. Ram the blade ship. Oh my gosh. And we finally got an answer to, like, who was it that did the weird time thing that sent Jake into the future where he was a Yerk controller and all of that. It was the one. And I remember at one point in this book thinking, are we ever going to get an answer to that? Like, we have to. Because I really thought what was going to happen in this book is Jake was going to die and they were going to suffer without him and not really be able to make an impact in the negotiations between the Yeerks, the humans, and the Andalites for peace, and that it would break down and the Animorphs would end up staring down the barrel of another war, this time without Jake and without the clean lines of who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. Because this war did have cleaner lines than most wars. But no, it's a new power, a new greater being that's using humans and Andalites and Yeerks and all of us as puppets in its war. And I love that symbolism because I have really loved the symbolism of the Elemist and Kryak standing for these bigger systems in our world that we are all kind of at the mercy of. And it's like, well, you think you have control of one, and then here comes another one. And I just loved it. I am genuinely going to be taking this series forward with me for the rest of my life. I can see in the future me having moral quandaries and going back and thinking like, okay, well, what would Cassie do in this situation? What would Jake do in this situation? Rachel, Marco, Axe, Tobias, all of them. And comparing whatever comes at me to things that they've gone through. Because these books genuinely have been with me through a very, very difficult time in my life. And they've really helped. And I think they will continue to. And I'm excited to dive into the fan fiction. I'm already writing some. I'm already listening to some of the podcasts. Just this series is my new favorite book series. Like, this is the best media I've ever experienced. And I am so excited to drag other people in my life down with me. My manager at work is going to read them. My aunt ordered the first book. My friend, she read them as a kid but doesn't really remember them, so she's going to start them. Like, I am dragging people into this with me. Amazing. Just wow. All the accolades to K.A. and Michael Grant and the ghostwriters and just all of it. Like, I want to thank them for this experience, and wow. And thank you guys for going on this journey with me. I don't like endings, but if it's gonna end, I love that it ended on a bang!